Hello and welcome. My name is Promise Odera Onu, and today I want to speak on something that is going to be a little bit emotional and is on unity. And we always like to look at Nigeria. For unity and progress to be achieved, there must be equity, fairness, and justice. And if you look at Nigeria, neither of these three is present. And that is why it seems like Nigeria is highly divided. And I want to assure you it has never been like this. It wasn't like this before. Before the colonial masters came, we were living together as neighbors, very healthy. There was no record of any issue. Apart from Usman Danfodio invading the Hausa part of Nigeria, the northern part of Nigeria. But apart from that, there was no issue, amongst Yorubas, Igbos, South, and, all the other ethnic groups. But then as things go on and we became amalgamated after the colonial masters overpowered our forefathers and the rest, here we are. We have Nigeria. So let's fast forward things. You see, when we talk about the unity of a country, people sometimes neglect it, but it's actually the basis for the progression or the progressiveness of that country. And without mixing words, Buhari has failed in this aspect. Nigerians are more divided right now. In fact, Nigerians became more united under obedient movement that P2B championed than anything. It started from the NSAS, Sorosoke movement and everything. And we know how sweet it is. A good example is Hilda that just won the Guinness Book of Records. It's beautiful to see people united. It's beautiful to see people throw away their ethnicity and religion and blah, blah, blah and celebrate a common goal. It's beautiful to watch football and celebrate Super Eagles. It's beautiful to, and that's when, you can appreciate that Nigeria is one entity. But as soon as there is no fairness, there is no justice, there is no equity, it becomes really, it becomes difficult for people to sort of cohabitate and, live together as one. So, I want to sort of lay a foundation. You see, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Biafra is not new to Nigeria. They fought a civil war and all of that. And there was meant to be a reconciliation with the 3R, rehabilitation, reconciliation, and whatever, which is not in existence today, to be honest. And then there was no victor, no vanquished. But today, a part of the country is very much marginalized, which everybody is saying openly in TV and everywhere. So that means one part is feeling like something is not done right, and the other part doesn't really care. We all know that Yorubas have produced a president, Obasanjo, Hausa have produced a president, Yaradua, Fulani has produced a president, Buhari. I don't even know if Yaradua is Hausa. I think Yaradua is Fulani as well. In fact, the only Hausa that has been a president might even be a very long time ago. So it's always been the Fulanis. But then that said, South has always have also produced a president, good luck, by chance, be it as it may. But then this is the turn of the Igbos because the northern governors ceded the seat to the south. And it's expected that the south at least, because Igbos are there in APC, you have the likes of Obon Nayono, you have the likes of Dave Umahi, and they did fantastically well, at least they have good reputation. But they didn't give it to these people. What's up? Give it to Rotimi Amechi, but they didn't. Not like I like Rotimi Amechi. He didn't build railway for Igbos. But at least he has an Igbo name, just to, put it that way. But that didn't happen. Now, some people ordinarily will feel like, we're not part of this. We're not part of this, agreement. We're not part of this Commonwealth. We're not part of this nation, clearly. And trust me, in every group of Igbos, there are a lot of people that don't believe in Biafra. There are a lot of people that don't believe in separation. A lot of Igbos believe in one Nigeria. And that's why there's always division. Now, Igbos don't agree on this concept of Nnamdi Kanu. But one thing is very important. Nnamdi Kanu did not start during Buhari's government. It started actually during Yaradua and what do you call it? Let me say Goodluck. He started very well during Goodluck's tenure. But one thing is quite important. When he started, or let me say this first of all, there's always challenge for every president, so to speak. Always dissenting voices that always come up, or have all these agitations, so to speak. During Yaradua's time, it was the Niger Delta militants, right? He dealt with it, and that's why I love Yaradua. You see, Yaradua for me personally, is the best president Nigeria ever had. I remember where I was. I remember where I was in Abuja, I was waiting for my visa when he became president. He announced, and that's before I left the country, he announced clear 7-point agenda. And he was going to do, in fact, he was on course of doing it. And I know that man could have fixed Nigeria. The next thing, he died. And Goodluck emerged. Now, Goodluck allowed corruption, but because there is so much money in the system, money was circulating so well, people did not feel the corruption. But people know that there was a lot of corruption. But Goodluck did something good. He was building a lot of schools for their Marjories. He knew education, being a lecturer himself, coming from an academic background. He was building a lot of schools in the north, not even for his own people. But then he had a problem. And his problem was his wife. His wife was being cajoled publicly because of her manner of grammar and everything. And she didn't stop. She went further to start fighting Rotimi Amechi, who was a governor at the time. And Rotimi fought her tooth and nail, And it became so messy. Remove that particular singular issue from Goodluck. Goodluck would have been accepted. But a lot of people fought him. If you can't control your wife, you can't control the country. And he was perceived as being a soft president. Nigeria wants a hard man. So they wanted a Buhari general, a no-nonsense man. Buhari came and became surprisingly the weakest link. Now, during Yaradua's time, there was Niger Delta. He treated them very well, gave them scholarships. When they came back, they gave them amnesty. And that's why you have amnesty today. Now, during Goodluck's time, of course, these guys that are going into power on the 29th, the likes of Shetima and the rest, created Boko Haram. Threats were flying up and down. They were telling Goodluck, you have to leave power for these guys, otherwise, these guys are going to go haywire and you're going to make Nigeria ungovernable. They were threatening in the open, So now, Buhari came into power, but then he had Boko Haram to deal with. Sorry, Goodluck had Boko Haram to deal with. While Goodluck was dealing with Boko Haram, Nnamdi Kanu was already on radio talking about Biafra. In fact, Nnamdi Kanu was more vocal then on this whole Biafra issue. He had bigger following, very active during Goodluck Jonathan's time. But Jonathan did not pay attention to him. You understand? Because he is not stopping you from building schools. He's not stopping you from building roads. He's not stopping you. He's just flying his flag and, doing his meetings and collecting money from his followers and building cenotaph then in Enugu, which the government destroyed, by the way. And he was claiming it was just a radio station, put it that way. And there are too many radio stations, you can't listen to all of them. But he was making sense to the people, regardless. Goodluck allowed Nnamdi Kanu. He will fly into Nigeria. He will claim he's landed. He will fly out. Biafra was doing their own thing. He was busy fighting the North. Then, Biafra was not an arms-bearing group. They were not threatening to fight anybody. They were peaceful, doing their whole insignia and going to protest and all of that. But very peaceful. Now, Buhari came into power. Buhari went and illegally, underline the word illegally, because one thing Nnamdi Kanu was doing was he was going to UN, he was going to world powers. He met with Trump. He even approached Russia. He was going places trying to speak. He was actually very convinced in his path of dividing Nigeria. And bear in mind, so many countries of the world has divided before. So it's not like we are doing something peculiar anyway if we divided. But then he was going on his, in his pursuit. Then, all of a sudden, he was captured in Kenya with a British passport. Because Nigeria already have his Nigerian passport when they attacked his father's compound. Bear in mind, Nnamdi Kanu is a prince, born to a king that is now late, and he's the first son. He's choosing his title to be Mazi and not Prince is out of humility, so to speak. Anytime he comes back to Afaruku Kingdom, he is actually going to be the ordained king. He's the heir apparent to the throne. People don't even pay attention. He's a royal abroad. And he schooled abroad. He schooled in this country. In the UK, he has a master's in political science or so. It was even part of his project, this whole broadcasting thing that he did. He started as a project and blew up like this. So, long story short, if federal government captured him legally, that would have been a different case. But he was what they call an extraordinary rendition or whatever the legal terms are. Which is why the Nigerian court system said, leave this man alone. You've captured him illegally. You have to return him. Kenya government wash their hands off. There are modus operandi. There are rules of engagement. America can come into Nigeria and take Abakari. But they can't do it because Nigeria has to willfully render Abakari to the government. Do you understand? There are so many people who have been held by governments that other governments are looking for, but because you've run into their embassy, they have to protect you. There's so many of them. There's one that America is after that has run into an embassy here in the UK, and he's still protected. And there are diplomatic processes to do these things. Do you understand? So you cannot just say, because I'm interested in this party, let me go and carry him. If he has run to Israel, Israel is giving him protection. So many people run into exile. Ojukwu ran into exile. So many people ran into exile in Nigeria. So many people. You can't just say because that person ran into exile, let me go and carry him or kidnap him there because we have SSS or whatever. No, that's not how to do things. There are legal ways of doing things. You ask the government to free those people, or you need those people, and the government wants to comply, they comply with you. Other than that, they give that person protection as long as they want. You can either forgive that person, or you wait until they willfully come back to the country, and then you pick him on your country, not outside of your terrain. That's not done. That's not how to do things. So on that basis, the court freed him. Buhari refused. So Buhari has refused so many court orders, which is against democracy. You can't refuse a court order. Now, that said, that influenced the sit-at-home done in the southeast. Now, Igbo land might be to some people a dot in a circle, but you're talking about 60 to 70 million people. If you go to Onitsha, you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-story buildings. Like, I'm not talking about estates. Like, the whole city are built up areas. You don't find those kind of cities or those kind of buildings in Lagos or whatever, unless it's a big office building or a skyscraper or whatever. But the normal commercial building or residential building, rather, in Onitsha, in the southeast area, Onitsha, Enugu, Aba, but Onitsha most especially, is fine. And then people are highly populated in those areas. So the southeast might be a small portion, the 5 states, but they are highly populated. And also there are Igbos, of course, all over Nigeria. And of course, all over the world. In fact, there is a saying that whenever you go and you don't see an Igbo man, know that there is no life there. So why am I saying this in detail? You need to understand who you are governing. In Nigeria, it's not just the Fulanis. It's not just the Hausas. It's not just the Yorubas. It's not just the Igbos. We have the Efiks. We have the Yorubos. You have the Akwa Iboms. You have the... Nigeria is massive. About 250 ethnic groups. And you have to unify all these people. You have to unify all these people. So it's not a place whereby you come and decide. This is why even in ABC there is war over who is going to be the Speaker of the House of Assembly, who is going to be Senate President, because of these issues. And that is why it could have been good if we were practicing the regional government that the British left us. Buhari is the average northerner who has his normal orientation of hate on the Igbo nation and was a military head of state, so his way of thinking and action will be different from JED, who is a full civil president. In fact, you summarized it perfectly well, Victor. You summarized it perfectly well. You see, Hope Uzodinma said something. They named the second Niger bridge after Buhari. You named the second Niger bridge after Buhari. Dave Umar, he was the first man to give Buhari an Igbo title after he won election when the whole Southeast was angry, right? That is in 2015. He also named the recent commissioned airport in Ebonyi State, which is a very fantastic airport, by the way, by all standards, the best in the country. He named it after Buhari. So by now, Buhari have 2 landmark projects named after his name in Igbo land. Fair enough, a lot of people don't like Buhari, but they are giving him a lot of respect for giving us the second Niger bridge. But we need to know that that second Niger bridge did not start with Buhari. I hear some people claiming that it was Buhari that started it in 2015 or 2016. No. You talk about the conceptualization of that project did not start with Buhari. He was not the one that conceptualized it. It wasn't his idea. It started way before him. But anyway, he's the one that delivered it, and he has been named after him, and forever he will be like that. So you can't take his flowers away from him. But what is important is that you see that dot in a circle he called Igbo land. You see that I am for the 99%, I am not for the 1%. Is also something to look at. Look at Rotimi Amechi. I hear on Channels TV today, one guy said he's a senior economist. He was saying, on politics today, last night. He said he's a senior economist. He was saying there are 2 star boys in this in this Buhari's cabinet. One is Fashola, the second one is Rotimi. That Rotimi built railway stations. He built Warri Ebet railway. I don't know if I got the name perfectly correct. And he built the Lagos. Is it Kano Abuja railway or something? That he started and finished it. Buhari started and finished those 2 railway. Okay, fair enough. We give it to him. How much did you spend? Because people don't understand these things. You see, Akwa Ibom governor delivered a road that he commissioned today. Or no, it was on air today. He commissioned probably yesterday. All these governors have something they built. But the question is, how much did you spend? How much did Buhari spend on those railway? Let's go and compare it with how much the company said it will cost. The actual company that built it. These trains are not, what do you call it? Powered by rail, third rail. It's not powered by third rail. Neither is it powered by overhead, what do you call it? Overhead light system. Yeah. I work on the railway. There are 3 types of train, or 3 types of way you can power a train. It's either you power the train by conductor rail, which is on the ground. So the train will have something that will touch the conductor rail and tapping power as it's going. Of course, that means you have to energize and power, and sometimes it's up to over 650 volts to power a train, right? Or you power it with overhead, let me say power system. Let me put it that way. So a wire will be running on top, so the train will have something touching the cable, and that means you have to put the cable all through the line. Or you have the diesel or the fuel powered train, which is what we have in Nigeria. So they have to go and pour diesel, the way you pour diesel in your car and drive. That's how they fuel the train. So all they built was to build a normal track system, put a sleeper, put barrels, and put railway, and they call it standard gauge. That's nonsense. You guys are still in 19 Porogidin, when UK was still using coal to burn and move their trains. That's what they built in Nigeria. That's not standard. Go to Ethiopia, the same company that built, the same Chinese company that built Nigeria's railway system, built Ethiopia's one. Can't see the trains they bought. Nigeria went and bought old, abandoned, disused trains and painted it. So how much did they spend? And then Buhari is telling us that we should measure the amount of debt and what was and the profile of things he has achieved. But he didn't achieve anything. Dangote's, unless you guys are telling us, you see, these guys are using style to tell us that they're the ones that sponsored Dangote's refinery. Come out and tell us that it is your money. And tell us that Dangote is not the owner of the refinery, that it's government's money. Then we'll know. But you told us that the government asset that we know, which is the Warri refinery and Port Harcourt refinery, are being refurbished or repaired. So if you are doing that, why couldn't you achieve it? That Dangote was able to do his own in 6 years, but you couldn't renovate or repair your own in 8 years. Look at the iron steel in Abeokuta. The steel mill is now lost to an Indian company. In fact, Otodola came and said that they offered to buy the Warri and Port Harcourt refinery, that he even paid 20%. Him and Dangote wanted to buy it so many years back, and the then president, maybe his good luck or maybe his Yaradua, refused and reverted that business. So they tried to buy it, you guys refused. Since then, we've not managed to repair it. Nigeria have four refineries. Buhari could not achieve to repair any. So let's not miss these things. You can't tell us that you have 4 things under your care. You couldn't achieve to get one running. Not fresh. Not fresh, oh. Existing infrastructure. Just renovate it. Just repair it. Even if it's degrading, upgrade it. Right? The land is there. Everything has been mapped. All you need to do is upgrade it. Yes, it was outdated, but I'll upgrade it, Sha. One way or the other. And you couldn't do it. And one woman being, one person, was able to build from ground zero up in 6 years a brand new refinery. Who are you deceiving? Buhari is a failure. Buhari is a failure. 70 trillion. And you're telling us that you built second Naija bridge, that they built Lagos Ibadan. Okay, why didn't they commission the Lagos Ibadan expressway? Fashola have been claiming that it will be from... Yeah, they cannot... Today is 24th. When it's 29th, they cannot commission that road. Because it's not complete. All he was saying is that the Kano Abuja road, they've done 300, I'll be 200 out of 300. That means it's not complete. They said they've done... so Kano Abuja is incomplete. Lagos Ibadan, incomplete. In 8 years... They didn't even talk about Enugu Onitsha or Ore Onitsha, because they always abandon the eastern flank. Igbos are evil to them. They quickly come and want to use a second Naija bridge. Fair play to them. But Peter Obi said he can build that with 200 billion. Let's stop all this nonsense. Go to Port Harcourt and see what Wike is doing. Bridges, flyovers everywhere. Okay. They built and delivered the Nasarawa. Is it Nasarawa? The Benue bridge. They built one bridge there. Fantastic. That is okay. As far as it's not anything to do with Igbos. Although they say they've reduced the journey, that if you are going to Abuja, you can use that route and enter Onitsha and come back the same day. Fair enough. Let's give him that. In 8 years. Do you want to see what other governments achieve in 8 years? Should we check? So when we come to unity, there must be justice. There must be fairness. And that is why when Ogbonna came on pulpit, an Igbo man, one of the founding members of APC from APGA, he left Igbo People's Party and joined and formed APC. What Ogbonna was saying in the APC primaries, where is the justice? Where is the justice? He was almost crying. Do you understand? There is this willful neglect. In fact, to them, Igbos are victims of war. You know, Igbos are, even if you are crying, you are marginalized, they want to marginalize you more. We cannot move forward as a nation unless we deal with these issues. For how many years now since Nnamdi Kanu has been captured, Igbos have maintained sit at home every Monday. And I've said it before, I will continue saying it. Till now, £1 is equivalent of over 950 naira, nearing 1,000 naira. As of June, with what I'm seeing, £1 will be more than 1,000 naira. Go and mark it. Fuel price will be even more expensive. Even Dangote's coming up on stream, it will still be like that. Because people don't have hope in this government, in this incoming government. If you swear in Tinubu, people will go into exile. People want to leave Nigeria. People want to run away. And this is why this useless fellow that came here to the UK and closed the door of others that want to come, that want to run away from that evil contraption called Nigeria, is paining me. I just posted about it. A young boy that was telling others how to come to UK is now being interviewed by BBC, and he was opening his mouth, saying nonsense. that Nigerians are bringing their family abroad, blah, blah, blah. They don't intend to go to school. How can you be so dishumane? How can you be so evil to your own people? So Nigerians should die in Nigeria with what government is doing to them. So they cannot apply again. Is there not laid down, what do you call it, requirements they have to meet? You know how much people pay? Do you know what it takes people to come to this country to apply for visa? For you to now go and make them, now they single that Nigeria out of the whole world and say that they cannot bring their families because of one useless boy that want to shine. And he was busy sitting there comfortably showing his YouTube channel. You want to be big. To bring down a whole country, your whole people. So people will now be in Nigeria, they want to run away, they can't run. That guy is evil. Evil. Pakistan has not done that. Afghanistan has not done that to his people. Indians have not done that. You know how many Indians are in this country? Hey! UK, you don't get any city where you go where you don't go see Indians. They go come, they go bring their sister, they go bring their brother, they go put them for the same house. All of them go there. They go, they do paper for themselves. Nigerians, our own is to be useless. I don't understand. Fight. Go in there, you go see shops, all of them. They go, they help their brother. This is our hatred, This is our hatred for ourselves. We reach our bone marrow. That's why I think division is the best. How can a human being go on TV and want to, UK has made that decision. They've closed it. They said families cannot be brought by any master student. Why? Something that people have been enjoying. Running away to come at least and get fresh air in this country. You've closed the door. You think that Papa gets England. What a human being. I don't know whether it was sponsored by government, because government have been fighting this. They know Japa is a problem to them. They wanted to pass a bill to stop medical people. Now medical people refuse. Say they are going where they are going. Because if you don't want to fix your country, people who have studied and burned the midnight candle and struggled to get where they are, of course we want to leave the country. Now they went and I don't know whether they went and sponsored this boy to come and say that thing. A time when UK is supposed to be banning people that engaged in election violence and all this anti-democracy activity. They are banning normal people that want to leave the country. So they want all of us to die here with Tinubu. We will publish list of names of people that are election offenders in a ban. We've not seen the list. America, we've not seen the list. America is now sending delegates to come and inaugurate Tinubu, a known drug lord in your own constitution, in your own country. They know, America knows, FBI, no, CIA knows all the evil that Tinubu has conducted in Houston. They use him as an asset. Now they want, in fact, sometimes I don't understand America. Can you believe UK is saying that China is their problem in Africa? Because why? Look at China's style. I don't like China for anything, no. But let me tell you China's style. China will come to you. China will tell you, what do you want? You say you want money. You want money. They will tell you no. We'll collect we'll build infrastructure for you. That's the condition. That's why they are the one that built all this railway. UK, what did they build? UK that don't give them money. Money when they don't say if they give them, the position will still send phone back into their country. But they like it like that. That's why you will see America has not built anything directly in Africa for many years. Go and check. See what is happening in Francophone countries in Africa. They are telling France to his face. So many people are telling them, you guys are running down the whole economy of those Francophone countries. They are telling it to Macron, the French Prime Minister. They are telling him. They're not happy. Because these people are not building anything on ground. Africa needs infrastructure. But Belgium and the West, they are happy taking our crude to go and refine and bring back to us. When they can easily repair our refinery. How much to repair a refinery? What would it cost America and the UK to repair Nigerians' refinery? They will rather be giving us foreign aid. When they know who is shopping the foreign aid is coming back to your system. They are good business, and America will only support America's interest. That is it. One way they are going this way. We thought we are there with us. Bam! The next thing they are sending delegates. They accepted Tinubu. How can you accept Tinubu with all the violence that happened? With everybody that died? But I lost faith in America with what they did to Trump. If then people can vote in America, and America cannot decide who won election after 4 days, no. Look at what they disgrace. They looked at Trump up and down. They did what they are doing to Peter Obi now is what they did to Trump. They couldn't find anything. All the allegations that he was linked to Russia, they didn't see anything. Last, what did they say? That he paid money to a whore. And they gave him $5 million fine. Is that one crime? Just for an 80 or 90-year-old man to go and be president. When UK is sending bright minds, young people to run their affairs, America is behaving like Nigeria. And look at when they said Biden won. Guess who was congratulating them? Nigerian APC members. They are the same people. I'm not surprised. What is the name of this guy, David Hundeyin? He said it, that he is an American asset. This Tinubu you are seeing. The same FFK was the same person saying in a video long time ago that so many heads of state in Nigeria are spies for the for foreign governments. He didn't call American government, he said foreign governments. And that he will call their name one day. Now, who is his principal working for? The same thing he said he was accusing others for. When he was fighting Buhari, he said he will mention names of people who are proxies for all these foreign government. Yet today, FFK is in the camp of Tinubu. That now David Hundeyin have now accused of being a CIA asset, and you are running a country. Are we not fools? You think these people don't know sense? They will allow a useless, feeble old man, and they will be saying, hey, Tinubu is a genius, he's a genius. Peter Obi was invited to Dele Momodu's house. Tobi Odebologa was there. Right? I asked him the same question. Peter Obi said, if he was younger, this is the same thing I was saying. If he was when Tinubu was younger, when he was in his prime, of course. If you brought someone like Osibanjo, of course. Even Devil Mai, who will manage. Rotimi, who will Kukuma manage. Give us a week in PDP. In fact, I prefer an Atiku being a president than a Tinubu. How can you have drug this thing? Have drug-related cases, have the what do you call it? Identity crisis, and all the info surrounding your name, and yet you want to be president? President of who? I'm not against Trump. Let me explain Trump to you guys. Let me explain Trump to you. God, oh. Just guys, give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. It's my baby. Came out. Yeah. So this is Trump. Yeah. I'm this type of person that I don't know how to sit on the fence. It's either I am for good or I am for bad. And somebody like me, if I end up in politics, I probably will be somebody like Trump or somebody like Putin. I don't know how to sugarcoat things. Somebody like Obama, is a politician. But you see Trump is not a politician. Trump is a businessman. Trump is like Peter Obi. If he doesn't like you, he will tell you he doesn't like you. He doesn't know how to sit on the fence. Do you understand? So Trump is a good president because under him, the whole world received peace. The whole world had peace. He recalled soldiers. No, not that peace that they will be disturbing them. No, he made it clear to everybody, even China, everybody was clear. Everybody maintained. Do you understand? But then Biden came. So if you judge the end by the means, you will see that, look at what Biden has done. Inflation and everything, dollar being, look at brisk nations. You see, it is not good for America. It's not good for the West. whether we like it or not. But maybe Trump doesn't know how to talk. Because he's not a politician. He's not diplomatic. Politicians will lie to you. Politicians will play on your emotions. Politicians will use you. Trump is not like that. Putin is not like that. Putin will tell you, if you come to my country, we do like this, don't do whatever. It's like all these Arabic countries, they will tell you. During Qatar, we don't believe on all these things, you can't do this, you can't. They stand for something. There's a saying, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. But once you become somebody like this, Biden, 1 minute, democracy, we support the next minute is coming to congratulate Tinubu, you don't know where they are. They're just whenever it suits us. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So, but that said, it is for Americans to decide. But I'll tell you what is happening here in the UK. There's no nonsense here. If you mess up, you are leaving. Public posts are meant for people who are clean. The best of the society. That's the kind of people nations need, yes. You can't have countries whereby anything goes. No, there must be rule of law. And I like it when a president stands for something. And it's clear to everybody, all and sundry, this is who I am. I don't care. I don't want to be politically correct. I don't want to be your friend. This is who I am. So that is it. That is it. You don't have to be diplomatic or to be a perfect politician to be able to do the right thing. The most important thing is, did Trump deliver? Yes, he did. Did the world enjoy it? Yes, he did. Whether people like the way he talked or what he said, it's a different ballgame entirely. Now, let's return back to the issue. What does Nigeria need to have unity? Nigeria needs to be fair. Nigeria needs to have equity. Nigeria needs to have justice. In the National Assembly, there is no fair share. There is no balance in the numbers of the National Assembly by the geopolitical zones. And these geopolitical zones are causing problems because the North are heavily Hausas and they have more representation. Kano alone have more senators than any other state. So when you look at it, everything is skewed because it's run by majority. That's the system they use. Everything is majority. So when you want to do things that will interest your own people, they will run it down. As far as it interests them, it goes. And that's why it is not balanced. But if you want to have equity, then you make it fair representation. Kanu, however how big you are, everybody bring 3 senators. Do you understand? You make every zone 6 states. There was a time they wanted to create another state for Southeast, and later they died it down. Do you understand? So we could do all these things, or we can even go back to regional and change the constitution. We can devolve power from the central. We can do all these things and accommodate other people. So nobody will be feeling like he's a lesser citizen. I'm telling you, as an Igbo man, we are always almost apologizing for who we are. It's as if we owe Nigeria an apology every minute we come up. That's why every time you turn off the TV, you see an Igbo man, there is this unseen hatred, or very noticeable hatred that you cannot place your finger on exactly why the hate is there. Yet, they are the ones that are actually more Nigerian, that can easily move to any part of Nigeria, develop, live, and grow that economy. Anywhere they find themselves, even in the whole world. So we need to look at these things. We need to stop the sit at home. How important is Nnamdi Kanu to the federal government? What is the interest in Nnamdi Kanu being in their prison? I don't understand. If a whole 70 million people that are very densely populated in that Onitsha, in Enugu, in Aba, in Owerri, in all these places, are saying no, they need this man. Ohanes and Igbo don't come and ask for him. Ohanes and Igbo did not agree with Nnamdi Kanu before, but now Ohanes and Igbo are saying release Nnamdi Kanu so our people can do business on Monday. As if that's not enough, Governor Soludo, who has operated in the federal, have said release him to me, not even Abaribe now, release him to me. Yet, Buhari said no. Court have ordered you, release this man. No. How do you now want those people to feel? Even the IPOB have come out and said we've stopped the what do you call it? In fact, IPOB fought Simon Ekpa fraction to say stop the Monday sit at home. Yet they continued. That is to show you that the love of the people is with this man. Do you understand? Free this man so these people will feel like part of the system. And also, of course, they've now declared Tinubu elect or select. I don't have a problem with Tinubu being president of Nigeria. For me, I will just sit out and wait for him to prove me wrong. But like we told you that Buhari is not the best in 2015, and we all saw where we are. I'm telling you now, it's going to be the same thing. Because it was Tinubu's boys, Fashola and the rest that were there. So the other economists said the star boys were Fashola and Rotimi Amechi. Rotimi Amechi, the Senate questioned about what he's doing with the loan. He didn't even know that he was willfully selling Nigeria to China. That he offered the sovereignty. He didn't even read the small print. Because what these guys in Senate do, all these ministers, they have a lot of aides. They probably will have up to like 4 aides, well paid. They don't even the aides don't read the paper. Let's see if he'll be released. Even to release him to small, his lawyer, his counsel is begging on his knees. But even release him from the DSS custody to normal prison. They said no, that he must be in maximum prison and where they are torturing him for years now. A repercussion to that is the economy falling. So even if long term Buhari has achieved things like railway in some parts of Nigeria, things like I'm trying to remember the good things he did. Second Niger bridge. Those are long-term benefits. Those are not going to yield quick-term benefits. What are the quick-term benefits? The quick-term benefit is that you have to release this man so people can do more business on Monday. So there will be frequency of transactions. That's what will bring the naira down. That's what will bring the naira down. On top of that, APC have made us more divided with MC Olomo ordering Igbos out. Wike ordering Igbos out. Now, if Igbos go, who will do business for you? Are you guys sensible? Now, Igbos are moving back gradually. They are moving back. When Igbos all move back, it's going to be called economic Biafra. That's why you come into some particular places. Let me tell you, if you come to the UK now, London is where everything is. Go to other parties like villages. But they have a way of making sure everybody receives the same sort of standard of living anyway. There is good road everywhere, there is power everywhere, there is water everywhere, there is gas everywhere. Do you understand? But when you are living in a place where the money is in one particular part and the rest are dry, it's a problem. And that is what is happening now. Since they are telling Igbos to go, ordering Igbos, FFK, come out openly, other Igbos. The whole security apparatus, 17 of them did not have an issue with that, which are all headed by the Northerners. They did not have a problem with that. They will always have Igbos to be their spokesperson. From DSS to police to army, all their spokesperson are Igbos. But the Ogabata will be an Hausa man. Now, at the end of the day, FFK is a free man. MC Olomo, a free man. Even Imoni and his brother that supported the obedient went to go and greet MC Olomo. Now then get Lagos. If you don't do them, you don't go do business. So they have to bow to pressure. At least so they can feed their own family. So I don't blame them. Do you understand? But you see how important it is for us to come as a united front. Because once we start having this division, it will affect us. And even if we are doing all this, we are one Nigeria on lips, our hearts are still turned against us. And that is a problem. And you know that your hearts are turned against us when somebody wants to marry. You say, you see that tribe, don't marry from that tribe. Bro. Those are things that movies like Chief Daddy, other things like other songs like We Are One and all these things have been trying to destroy for age. It's coming back in full force. People will now hate intertribe marriages because of what they did to GRV. Calling him an Igbo man just because his mom is Igbo. So we need to watch all these things. We need to do the right thing. There was a time Nigerians are Nigerians, regardless of wherever you come from. There was a time people enjoyed this country. There was a time all these tribes were not there. But look at what is happening now. People don't care. People just don't care. It's a shame. It's really a shame. So we need to find a way to unify Nigeria. And we cannot do that with all this animosity, with all this unfairness. There's nothing wrong with giving an Igbo president. The whole reason why Yakubu made Tinubu president is to make sure it does not go to an Igbo man's hand. And people know this. It's all tribalistic. It's all tribalistic. Because we all know that P2B won. But the only dent he has, as clean as he is because he's an Igbo man. You can't tell me that if P2B is a Fulani man, that he will not be in office on the 29th with what he achieved. Even if he's from minority, even if he's from Plateau, not Central, or even if he's from Northeast. If he was Muslim, you won't tell me that he will not. So clearly, people know that simply by belonging to a particular religion or belonging to you are already seen as first-class citizen. So Igbos are now slaves in their own land. And they also want to go abroad now. This idiot boy will come here and even spoil matter for them that they are bringing their families. So they should come alone and after schooling go back with all the money they spent. Do you know how much school fees cost here? You know how many millions it will when you convert it to Naira? This is it. If somebody is already in Nigeria planning for his family to join him abroad, or he's already sent his wife planning to join him, and this kind of thing happens and he checks the name and the name does not sound like his tribe, maybe he's an Igbo man, would that make him to love that man or love that tribe? Or make already somebody has told me that he's a Yoruba guy. I said his name does not suggest he's Yoruba. He said he's a Yoruba guy. Somebody has already told me. So people will start making interpretations. And these things will be causing more hatred and more division and bias amongst us. EFCC quickly rushed to go and pick the man that said he will invite IPOB to Lagos and left what is the main bone of contention. Are you not supposed to nip the problem in the bud? Are you not supposed to tackle the root cause? They will leave the root cause and be chasing, witch hunting after Igbos. And you think one day, and you, in fact, you are still scared of the same Igbos that one day they will retaliate you. You are still scared that they cannot get into power, that they are going to do you back. But yet, instead of you to stop it and showing them love, so at least they will forget small, you are making their pain worse. Buhari, with everything he has done to Igbos, think that if he build bridge for us from Asaba to Onitsha, which will not benefit just Igbos, you benefit Delta, and you, although Delta's our brother anyway, they are Igbos there too, before they started carving everybody into states. But they think by building bridge, that will make up for the whole thing. No. Yeah, he just came to the UK 2022, if that story is right. Or whenever he came, it doesn't matter, he's an immigrant. I'm proudly telling a whole country on TV that Nigerians are not true to what... Who gave you that right? Nigerian diaspora, this thing should go and make sure they speak to the UK government and cancel everything that guy said. Because genuinely there are people that want to come here and study. They've banned Nigeria now. They've banned Nigeria. Nigeria cannot bring their families here. So if you are Nigeria spending millions, you know the requirements to bring your family. You know how much you will pay. And a lot of people have benefited from that scheme, which they only brought into light recently because they left the EU. Excuse me. When the UK saw that the citizens want to leave the EU, what did they do? David Cameron said, let's do a referendum. He personally was convinced that the people will not vote to leave, that they will vote to remain. He personally, David Cameron, believed. But what happened? Another planet, let me bring you live. Good luck. No Buhari, that's the Nigeria bridge. So when he did that referendum, David Cameron, when he did that referendum, UK wanted to leave EU. He was bound to respect the majority. He could not resign. That's how Boris came to power. That's how Boris came to power. Another planet.
Brotherly.
I've done like 15 minutes. I'm usually, I try to keep it under 20, 30, but because of the topic is heavy, I was even trying to round up. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you
What do
very
you want
much.
to the world? Get him.
Thank you. If I don't know, welcome. Thank you very much. So
So,
happy to be here.
yeah, just speak a bit on this second Niger bridge. They claim they started it in 2016. That is Buhari went into power 2015. So they are saying it's Buhari's achievement. But you are holding in Namdekan, which is making Igbos not to work or trade on Mondays for over 2 years. How much billions are people losing? Yet you think building bridge will be the recourse to that or to make them happy.
I
And our Igbo
think
governors are quickly slapping Buhari's name on everything. The second Niger bridge, they named it Muhammadu Second Niger Bridge.
it's
The
quite
airport in
terrible.
Bonny, that is the finest in the country. They said the airport is also named after him.
It's quite terrible. I think the bridge, the second Niger bridge, it was a program that the PDP started, not the APC. Okay,
Exactly.
but whoever is in power when the program was concluded takes the credit, but
Mm-hmm.
it was given birth to life by the PDP under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and
Exactly.
people that are naming him after whatsoever, they are just trying to gain favor, in the APC. They are just trying to gain favor from him, of which is quite unfortunate. We have other prominent figures in the Igbo land that they could have named after the bridge, people like Alex Kueme, who died a couple of years back. I was thinking they should come up with, people like that to immortalize them, even though even though they have named one or two. But we already know that a lot of places in the north has been named after Muhammad Buhari in Nasarawa State, in his homeland in Castina, and naming him after
They could have
the bridge.
named it, honestly, they could have named it after P2B. He's the greatest
Yes,
institution.
yes, it's the greatest
They could
talk
have named it after
television
P2B
we have
because
in the southeast and south
for
south.
me, for me, I don't see, sorry to say, but I don't see any big this thing that they can name after an Igbo man in the north. In the whole north. I don't think, I know I'm sounding tribalistic, but let's call a spade a spade. Would they name anything after P2B or Igbo man in the north? Even the Nnamdi Azikiwe airport in Abuja is the only thing probably you will see.
It's quite
You understand?
unfortunate.
And
It's
that's
quite
because he
unfortunate.
operated he got us independence, so he deserves that. But then, that said, he's been named. That's like, some people still believe that he did well for Igbos. Whether you like it or not, there are Igbos that are diehard APC fans and supporters that believe that, what is his name, Buhari did well. But I don't see Nnamdi Kanu being a threat to his government. The same way Yaradua handled his own issue during his time, which was the Niger Delta militants, and gave them amnesty. Good luck dealt with the Boko Haram people, even gave them scholarship to go abroad, right? So what they could have done, mute your mic, your echo is coming back.
Okay.
So what they could have done is to find ways to there's a microphone sign in your front, just touch it. So what they could have done is to make what do you call it? Nnamdi Kanu, to quiet him peacefully, which is what Peter Obi has said repeatedly is going to do. He's going to engage all agitators and have dialogue with them. IPOB is not a fresh group. There has been Masob, Chief Wazureke was quiet down. Dialogue. Today he's even speaking for the Nigerian government. He even fought the same IPOB. Today we see Asare Dokubo speaking against IPOB. These are people who are warlords. So everybody can be engaged in dialogue and systemized. Do you understand? There was one called IBM. There are so many groups that are Biafra groups. So
ESN is there, unknown government, we don't know whether they are part of a Biafra group or whatever. But all we know is that, bottom line, there is marginalization, which all these people have been using as an excuse. And that's why when the national data people came out, they started giving them scholarship. Even Boko Haram people, they were giving scholarship to go and study. Some of them were. The problem is when they started reabsorbing them into the military. That was where the problem started. Do you have anything to say on that? Another planet. You have to unmute now. Can't hear you.
They received some take home. If you can remember, they were giving jobs recruited into the NDDC, and a lot of their youths were given empowerment, some take homes, and what have you. And I thought that they would have done some the same thing with Nnamdi Kanu, free him, bring him to the dialogue table, sort things out. Because wherever there is injustice, resistance must come forward.
Of course.
Instead of using the same tactics that they used in the north and in south, they introduced
the guerrilla warfare.
They introduced both crocodile, what do they call it?
Python dance. All their animals from their zoo will come out.
And if you check, we don't even have a lot of fighters on ground. If we want to check by statistics, we don't have thousands of or hundreds.
The military is on the what do you call it? They have shortage of foot soldiers. Even the police, we're under police. So the truth is that for me, this is what I propose. Mute your mic again. I'm hearing it. For me, this is what I propose, because my platform is not just to talk about the issues, but to propose a solution, to prefer a solution, right? For me, I think justice should be done in this election, because people went out of their way to campaign for people to come out and vote. We actually trusted the system with the electoral law, which we have to give the Ninth Assembly of the Senate a thumbs up on all the lawmakers, right? President Muhammadu Buhari did not sign that law immediately. It was passed, but rather refused, and it was going back and forth. Now, after whatsoever that was done, it was signed. But was it followed? Him himself, Buhari, was showing everybody who he voted for. How foolish can a president be? Oh, we have dummies as president. Or this. So, to start with, the same people that made the law, the same person that signed law didn't even know what he signed, because he broke his own law on national TV. The only person that voted credibly was Goodluck Jonathan. Every other person was surrounded by cloud. So INEC's process was rubbish. Yakubu Mahmoud, who is the umpire, said he is the one. He was aware of late deployment in the Southeast. So how can you do that? How can you be unfair to a whole Southeast, where that's the base of one of the contenders being P2B? Because it's a majority. It's a majority. This thing carries the win, right? So if Southeast has voted properly to their maximum numbers, right, that would have given P2B probably the threshold to cross over 7 million. That I don't know how many million they said to do. Of course, in Lagos we know what happened. So it was a sham of an election. So for Nigeria to even be united and progress, of course, justice needs to be done. And already I'm not feeling happy with the judgment that the court or the tribunal has done with saying they don't want to air the proceedings. They're supposed to air it. If you are clean and you fear no whatever, then you allow it to be aired freely. Are you telling us your court is not fine enough, or you don't want you don't want us to see how your courtroom is looking? There's nothing wrong. It's not like the whole world is going to come there. There's heavy security. All we need is a camera that will be on TV and people will be watching from their homes. Let's see what is going on, so that people will also know how to. People who read law, or who is practicing law in order to say that client, will probably say, okay, yes, you're doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing. But they are scared that if they do the wrong thing, people will probably retaliate or jump on it. And why that might be the truth, sorry, my video is going to end in exactly 24 minutes, 24 seconds, but I will come back live, come back again, and I will bring you on. And anybody that wants to join us can also join us, okay? Yeah, it's going to.
Facebook is still going on. Oh, sorry, YouTube. Yeah, so this is the second part for those on Instagram. We're speaking on unity of Nigeria. What will unite Nigeria? Nigeria is a massively complex country, being that we have about 250 or more than 250 ethnic groups and languages, and you know, quite a big place. But the Hausas and the Fulanis are in a very in a more landmass area of Nigeria, so to speak. So the Igbos are in a smaller geographical area. The Yorubas are in the west, not so small. The South are also in a relatively smaller landmass, geographically speaking. But at the same time, be it as it may, you know, these are different ideologies, different cultures, different way of life, different religion that are coming together to form one administration. So the way they and manner they do things is very important for them to be united. And that is why we're having this discussion. There must be equity, there must be fairness, and there must be justice. So everybody's looking at the tribunal to make sure they do the right thing. They've now judged or passed the judgment that there will be no public airing of the court proceedings and judgment, which is okay. Let's say that they don't show us, but let them do the right thing. Let them do the right thing, because all of us are on TV. We saw when Atiku voted in the north as early in the morning, and we know in the southeast people did not start voting, and in the south I know people in Port Harcourt that said they didn't even vote at all because they didn't even have INEC officials coming. And even when one came with only 2 ballot paper for a whole ward, a whole polling unit. So international observers detailed all these things out. So I don't know why America will still say they are sending delegates to come and inaugurate the same Tinubu when you guys knew exactly what went on ground, and there was violence. Over 88 people died in that election. So I don't understand the West sometimes, but we all know that they are always after their interest, and their interest is give us oil, we'll let you be. We train your soldiers for you, and we make sure you maintain peace and order. People don't know what is the problem in Russia and Ukraine. Let me tell you, UK conducted referendum here when Scotland said they want to leave, and the Scottish people majority voted that they want to stay, they want to remain. And that's why UK and Scotland is still one country with the Wales and Northern Ireland. In fact, in Northern Ireland, they are fighting with Southern Ireland, which is called Ireland, that they don't want to be with them, they want to be with the UK. Do you understand? So, if this Biafra thing lingers a lot, why not do a referendum? In fact, it got to a point that IPOB said, okay, all we want is a referendum. Do a referendum. That's what Nandekano was asking for. People were calling him secessionist, he's doing treasonable, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you don't want him to do all those things, how much love have you shown him? It's not only him on that this thing. When you come out and you sell an idea, people accept that idea. That probably because that idea might be close to the truth. So if you really do not want him to be agitating for Biafra, show him love. Show his people love. Because what has happened is that people have left Nigeria mentally. Mentally speaking, Nigeria doesn't exist to some people. Some people, there is one woman that she was attacked. She's a northerner. She's an Hausa woman. She was attacked and raped in the north. That woman said that she will never cross Nigeria again. She left Nigeria and went abroad. She said she will never come to Nigeria. And there are people like that. If you've been psychologically, if you've been involved in a near-death situation, or if you have ever been in a situation whereby you were kidnapped and you have to fight for your life, and you manage to escape, or your people paid for you and you leave the country. That's why a lot of Nigerian students are in Sudan. It's unimaginable that Sudan will be fighting a war and we find out that Nigerians have millions there schooling, not even going there to school. Imagine Sudan and Nigeria. It's shameful. One day they will tell us that Nigerians are in Cotonou to study, or in Mali to study. It's quite shameful. It's quite shameful. So when you look at these things, you see, if Nigeria really wants to do the right thing, let Igbos, and of course I'm telling you now, not every Igbo man supports Biafra. So let Igbos do the referendum. And if they say they want it, allow them to go. They have the right to it. United Nations rights, self-determination is one of it. So they have the right to form a people. The war in Ukraine and Russia is simply because some part of Ukraine, 2 provinces, Donbass and Luhansk, said they want to be their own people. They want to form their own country. Russia, Putin signed them, that he recognizes them. The West said no, did not recognize. America and UK stepped in and started a war. That is their internal issue. That is the basis of the war, nothing else. That is they've burnt the hell out of Ukraine. Ukraine is like 50 years back in terms of the amount of destruction that has been meted on that Ukraine, because their president don't even get sense. You're not coming into NATO. You cannot fight Russia. You cannot settle amicably. When he was giving you condition, why not meet his condition and tell him that you will not join these people? Let there be peace. Because you want to force 2 provinces. And those 2 provinces are speaking Russia, but they are in Ukraine. The same Ukraine and Russia used to be one country under USSR rule. Ukraine willfully gave Russia all their nuclear weapons. So we need to understand the importance of unity. There must be peace before progress. There must be unity for people to foster in whatever they are doing. Why you see the economy of Nigeria in shambles, even though these things that Buhari said he has good conscience for Nigeria, he means well for Nigeria, why it is not looking like it is because people do not believe in that vision. People does not believe in that vision. They do not believe in that vision, rather. Because Igbos feel neglected. Ohanes and Igbo is begging, release this man. Governors are begging, release this man. People have gone, elders have gone to court saying, please release this man. The whole Igbos are telling you, release this man. So it's like you are holding the whole Igbos and throwing them in prison in DSS custody. And you illegally went and caught the man. What was his crime? He was on radio. The same man has approached UN, has approached UK, has written to countries, have said that they want to go. All they are telling you to do it democratically. They're not trying to fight. Conduct a referendum. Call the referendum. If you do a referendum and people say they want to stay, that is it. Anybody that bring up Biafra again, they will tell him, we did a referendum and the people said they want to stay as one Nigeria. Check it out, matter closed. But if they say they want to go, let them go. After all, they are not in a circle. There are hinterlands. So Rome is in Italy, but Rome is perceived as a country of its own. Its own administration is different. So even Rome, although Rome is in Italy, the Vatican, Rome itself is like an independent state. There's even city of London that is in London that has separate administration. So it does not really matter. You're saying they are not in a circle, they are surrounded. In fact, when there was regional government, before the capped state, we know where Biafra went to or extended to. So now that they are created state and trying to divide Igbos, even at that, give people the will. If you are part of Biafra, stay. If you don't want to be part of Biafra, or you go to Nigeria, people should willfully go. Even if you are Igbo, you want to go to Nigeria. After all, people live abroad. After all, people change their nationality. After all, people dump, because not be people they tear their Nigerian passport. Some people they burn their Nigerian passport. It happens everywhere. Even people leave their country and go and nationalize somewhere else. So it doesn't matter. If you are Igbo, you love Nigeria so much, I gotta leave Igbo side, Nigerian side. If you are outside, you love Igbo so much, I gotta live in Igbo side. Yes, divide the two places. It's not every country that divided that fought war. No, so many countries divided that they didn't fight war. India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, all of them used to be one country. They are all living peacefully. Do you understand? So this is not something that's supposed to be taking us this long, and we are in abject poverty. Democracy has done nothing to us. We are not progressing. We don't have refineries. We are poor. IMF is making us poorer every day. They tell us how much our money is, that our money is nothing. You see, we need to wake up and face and smell the coffee. All these things that America is telling us, believe in your diversity, blah, 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 blah. Which diversity? Who will help? Look how poor we are. And now UK is telling us we cannot bring our families. That means if you're a man here, you are married, you won't see your wife until how many years? Or whenever you have passport or you have the means to go back. No hope for Nigerians in Nigeria. No hopes for Nigeria in abroad. If your family is back home. If you've managed to bring your family here, maybe you are not in that situation. But that boy that went on BBC and was talking that nonsense is very, very, very wicked. Indians will not do that. Other countries will not do that. Now they singled out Nigerians and banned Nigerians from bringing their family. Who tell you say they don't know? Say people they run. You say they don't know. When they deny you visa, they will tell you that they think you are coming here for this thing. You want to leave. You don't want to do a visit. You're not really a visitor. They know that people leave Africa, leave Nigeria for the sake of running away from their country. They know. So if people come for greener pastures or to run away from the evil in Nigeria, why would you go and now make it public? And you know how these people are. Eh? Anyway, I don't know what else to say. For us to have justice, the law must take its course. The justice must do the right thing in this tribunal. They must make Nigeria believe in the judiciary, which is the last hope of the common man. And then when they do that, at least P2B is an Igbo man. He's a Christian. That will probably take away. In fact, people are more united over the obedient movement. You know, because if you really trust, if you really want the peace and progress of Nigeria, if you really want Nigeria under a leadership that is not self-centered, P2B is the man. P2B is not even coming as an Igbo president. Do you understand? But because he's also here bearing an Igbo name and his manager, people will just sentimentally throw away all this Biafra issue and everything, and we can stay as one country. But in a case where you allow Tinubu with all these baggages to go into power, you've already scattered Nigeria. Whether it is physically or mentally. There will be no hope, there will be no faith in the system. All you will see is people just doing things unpatriotically. People will even fight, you know. In fact, may God help whoever is coming in. All of us will be watching, observing. Like I said, I'm waiting for APC to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. In 8 years, we'll reevaluate. But as far as I'm concerned, this Buhari's 8 years has done nothing, nada. Achieved nothing but failure. But the problem is that those who are close to them are not telling them the truth. They're lying to them. That's why you have the likes of, what's his name? Sanwo-Olu, telling him you are this, you are that. Hopes or them. APC are just full of liars. They lie to themselves. Because if we have advisors who are telling these people the truth, 78 trillion is nonsense compared to what you said you delivered. You've not made judicious use of the money. How many billion are they? See, when Goodluck was there, people were accusing people of looting money. It's in millions. In Buhari's own is billions. These guys are stealing with no regard whatsoever. EFCC is not coming after. Even the EFCC was being alleged to be asking for $2 million. You'll be spending Nigerians' money in dollars, so not even in naira. Well, like I said, all we can do is talk. We don't have power over military. We don't have power over police. And there's nothing we can do from here. But for those who have the power to do these things, do the right thing. Because without that, people will always feel marginalized. Nigerians need to build railway in the southeast. They are also part of Nigeria. All these mega projects that are being built supposed to come to the southeast. Build ports in the southeast. Let there be water port in the south. Let there be sea port in the southeast. That railway that Dave Umahi have started in Ebonyi with state money should be supported by federal government. Well, at least Dave Umahi started it because Lagos State are building their own internal airport, train station rather, or train lines rather. So Ebonyi State should try, and other sister states in Igbo land and also every part of Nigeria should build. Railway is something that is good to the economy. I'm going to stop here and see you next time. It's quite an emotional one for me because I'm also an Igbo man, and it looks like in a very long time an Igbo man might not be president if Peter Obi misses this opportunity, because PDP are not adhering to the zoning anymore, because that's why they brought Atiku. They jettisoned the zoning. APC never believed in zoning. All they are doing is rotation, north and south. So the same way Igbos are crying they've not come to the southeast, northeast is also crying it's not come to them. But it doesn't matter to them. Labour Party have not read their constitution. I don't think they are doing zoning. So we're in a situation whereby as Igbos we don't have a say ever, because the numbers are always against us. But let us remember that without equity, fairness and justice, which means, yes, we know we have undue advantage over you as northerners, but we are giving you the opportunity. Oh yeah, we will not bring any candidate. We are ceding it to the south. That's what exactly we expected the south to say, okay, all of us have brought somebody. We are ceding it again down to southeast. But no, they want to fight everybody in the southeast because Tinubu has drug money. Anyway, we are watching the events. Like I said, without justice, unity will be difficult. People by mentally have left Nigeria, or because they don't have a way of fighting it, they might stay in Nigeria and carry Nigerian passports, but their mind is not there. And trust me, government cannot do everything. You need people. You need your population to be ready to work with you. Otherwise, everything you are doing will be baba dash. So may God help us. Share this video, like, comment, tell me any topic you want me to discuss. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel to support me. And apologies for this video being too long. Like I said, it's an emotional one, and it's coming at a time that we are sort of helpless, because in a few days time it will be the 29th, and from all indications these guys are adamant they probably want to install Tinubu. We fought so hard as obedience, but what can we do? If the police, DSS and SSS are supporting a drug lord, what can you do? You have to keep praying. But we know where the country could have been heading to had it been a Peter Obi is coming in this 29th. It could have been a different level of joy and expectation and hope and faith. But everything is against us because the West, their interest is with somebody else that is not our principle. But God willing, who knows? As our principal Peter Obi always say, be calm, be law-abiding. He's going to win his mandate. Let us keep hoping that one day that will come to pass. Thank you, and God bless. Till next time. Bye-bye.